Good afternoon, everyone. The next collapse. Thanks to economists, such a positive magazine cover. Wood pellet costs tripling. Firewood shortages across Europe. Smallest French corn crop since 1990. Down 25% just as fire breaks out at the world's largest wholesale produce and storage market. Time to break out the kettles again. Bank of England, turn in your 20 and 50-pound notes. Then they will be worthless. Agriculture's struggling to get off the ground. Cold Australia. Hey, that's into spring, but those are winter temperatures. Effective immediately, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., even with the automatic banking machines, otherwise known as ATMs in the U.S. Food riots, ransacking supermarkets. You knew this was coming in. That's why there'll be guards at the stores to check your digital rationing card. And y'all are going to find out why your great-grandmother saved the bacon grease and washed the aluminum foil. And you know, the economists, forecasters of the world seem to be in cahoots with a lot of big level think tanks and financial institutions. What to look forward to. Bottom right, oh, is that a giant solar flare there? Is that a 400-year cycle in the grand solar minimum, destroying food production? Let me guess. Such a positive cover. Thanks so much. Started my day perfectly. How bad can it get, though? Hyperinflation in Germany, 1923. Inflation, 3.25 million% per month. Prices doubling every 49 hours. And you might think, well, nobody ever could afford anything. Well, that's true. To a point. Bottom paragraph, people began to switch circulation of foodstuffs. So there was a market that emerged beyond cash. And I love the highlighted, an announcement in a theater, tickets for sale, the price of a cheap seat, 2 eggs. Price of expensive seats, a kilogram of butter. Farmers were getting free movies. Oh yeah, chalk one up for the farmers. And I have questions all the time. Ask, will this emerge, or are we just going to crash in the ground and be relying on central bank digital currencies? Well, if you have the means for production to produce food and then trade it to others, that's a viable option for you. And yes, we are going to absolutely move to barter and trade as the collapse continues. What do you have of value that could be reproduced? You don't want to give away something that once you give it away one time, it's gone. Can you regrow the food? Food is always needed. People eat every day. They don't trade artwork or shoes every day. So there's a difference there. The closest in usage is probably the one you want to focus on. Can you expand your raspberry patch? Can you add another couple trees in your orchard? Who knows? But as we move forward, food, as you see through the historical past, going back several thousand years, gold, silver, food, always tradable. The world is heading into some turbulent times, and to survive, you're going to need access to vital information that is resilient to outages and protects your privacy. Bastyon is the only decentralized, non-corporate, open-sourced social network built on unique architecture that can work even during web outages when most websites simply won't open. During these times, you do not want to lose access to alternative media during a crisis. And we're now living in times where it's better sometimes to not have your social media comments and activity associated with your name. Bastyon's not connected to your phone number or email and has no identity verification whatsoever. Therefore, you can speak your mind. And it has microblogging like Twitter and video, just like YouTube. Think of it as peer-to-peer, open source, encrypted chat. Not possible to censor. Your communications with your friends and others, keep that out of prying eyes, all 5. I'm active on Bastyon myself, so let's take a look at your new favorite social network. I'm active on Bastyon right now with the Adapt 2030 channel. You can follow me there. And also, the description box below the video, there's a link where you can download the Bastyon app. And users who join now and comment at least twice under the Adapt 2030 posts will get a gift of Pocketcoin, the internal token of Bastyon. Once you download the app and install it, select Sign Up. You'll simply create a nickname. No personal information is required. You can add an avatar like I did to your profile or not. You'll get your own special private key. So you own it. Your keys, your feed. It's your login and your password all in one. Don't share it with anybody. You have to write down the private key. And remember, you're responsible. So if it's lost, it cannot be recovered. I have the story smallest French corn crop since 1990 showing drought that I wanted to post in here. This is all farming independent, and you notice it works the same way as any other social site you've been on. Paste the link in, the story will come up. I like to remove the link just to make it a little cleaner so you know exactly what you're looking at with the headlines. Put in some tags with that, definitely investing in finance. Agriculture, how about food price? Inflation, anyone? How about a famine? Do you think that would go well with the state of today? Now remember, you can only put 5 tags in, and I'll just let this one go and enjoy the smallest French crop growing corn since 1990, down 25%. And you think that the food price is going to improve? This is why we need open channels of communication. You don't have to be a big-time blogger to post censorship-free text, images, video. Protect your access to information. Download the Bastyon app now. That link's in the description box below. And now on with the video. Off to the Bank of England, doing away with cash, 50 days to go. But this announcement was August 12th, 2022. Fast forward, oh wait, September 30th, that's just 3 days from now. You're no longer going to be able to use your British pound, 20 pound, and 50 pound notes. And see, it's a little misleading right here. It says, visit the website for more information on the withdrawals. And you think, okay, let's dig into it more. The last day you can use paper or paper will be accepted across all of the greater UK. The paper notes will no longer be legal tender. So we encourage people to spend or deposit them at their bank ahead of this date. So trying to bring in the cash that's out there, quote unquote, in the wild. You don't know what you're doing with cash? It's anonymous. So it looks like England is for sure going to central bank digital currencies immediately. So it's going to go into a completely digital landscape where there will be no more paper traded. Didn't say anything about coins. It said paper notes. So again, you know, when you come down, the 5 pound note, I mean, that's still be in circulation, but you can't really do much with 5 pound notes. What do you need? 20 of those to equal 100 pound? So it seems like, you know, you're seeing where this lead in is going to go first. Norway's central bank digital currency tracking all purchases from supermarkets. I did a video on that yesterday. Every single citizen in Norway is being tracked on everything they purchase in a supermarket or a convenience store. And at the same time that there's a soft rollout of the central bank digital currencies. And you see many other places here in Starbucks trying to go cashless, but still, you know, you have to take that dollar as all debts. So that's going to create a problem for Starbucks doing that. But we are in the midst of it. And the collapse of the pound just the day before yesterday, all-time record collapse. It's since bounced back up, but how many hundreds of billions or trillions of dollars went back in to float that market back up again is the question. And the timing of this just mere days before cash needs to be done away with in England at the 20 pounds is not a lot of money in a note. That's like a $20 note. So what are they down to the 10s and 5s and coins? Another few more months and they'll probably do away with that. So are you ready in the States for that? If they come in one day and say you need to take your cash in, I would definitely be converting it to silver or some other kind of hard asset because it's just going to wither away through inflation and be hyperinflated away. That's why they want it back in. Cash in the wild being recalled. And another startling thing here, this is HSBC in Canada, Edmonton branch there south. So Monday to Sunday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. is the only time you will be able to use your automatic banking machine or ATM. It's supposed to be 24 hours, but again, there's more capital controls. You see this happening everywhere. Sorry for the inconvenience. So I didn't know what an ABM was because I'm used to the ATM, automatic teller machine. But sure enough, it is automatic banking machine. 70,000 of them in Canada, but with restricted hours, it's more like you have to wait in line in a bank. Controlling the money. So when you see financial institutions being asked by regulators to avoid activity that may create large volatility in the securities market, oh wait, the FX market just got wiped out, energy market just got wiped out with the destruction of the pipelines into Germany, and this comes out the same day, don't do anything that'll create volatility in the stocks now. So we got energy, currency, and stocks. Are you ready for the crash? It's all based around food. Grand solar minimum crop losses right here in front of you. Smallest French corn crop since 1990. Shows the drought's huge toll. It's cyclical. Look at the Wheeler drought clock. 25% reduction. That's as of today. That is still an estimate. I would imagine this will fall further into the 30+% range after the totals are in for the harvest. So we would be looking at the southern hemisphere to try to alleviate some of these shortages. Come on, Australia, grow some more wheat. Sorry, the planting season is severely delayed because of the Tonga ash cooling temperatures across the southern part of our planet. This brings us out to October 8th. Whoa, super cold. October 9th, that's striation. Northwest, that's 20 degrees Celsius or 30 plus degrees Fahrenheit below the normal temperatures. Now they're supposed to be rocking it into the planting season and getting ready in spring right now. This winter is holding on. So do not put your hopes and pin your hopes on the southern hemisphere to produce a lot of crops to alleviate the shortages that we're experiencing now. Meaning, distant early warning, get ready for higher food prices. And hopping back to Europe here, Connexion, France, pellet, as in wood pellets for the pellet stoves, cost tripled, 3x more expensive. Logs are up 20%, but now there's a full firewood shortage, so it doesn't really matter if it went up 20%, 50%, 100%. They don't have it to sell. They are sold out. Shortages, so they just cap price at 20%. Government mandate, well, if I don't have anything to sell, then I don't have anything to sell, so it doesn't matter what the price is. It was a large headline, so I just jumped right over to Connexion to see what is the deal here. Clearly stated, firewood providers are warning that there will not be enough wood for everyone this winter. That's a bold statement. And then if we do look at the pellets here, not a lot of us in the States are familiar with pellet heating, but I traveled through Europe and it's very common. The increase is going to go from about 7.5 to maybe 8 million households up to 9.5 million households by the end of this year into 2023. Now they're having massive shortages as we speak of trying to get wood product in for heating. And it's clear as day. Now they've got massive shortages on wood for heating. And the two pipelines that were just taken down, Nord Stream 1 and 2, that are going to cut off all gas to Europe. None, zero, nothing coming. This is a complete catastrophe. The realization of what just happened these last few days is going to take another week or so. But once it hits, we are looking at truly the end of the European economy. It's going to flow over everywhere else. And we're seeing the contagion happen across most continents and countries, Bank of Japan, China in free fall, complete free fall from their securities market. Everybody's locked down in their homes, so it's difficult to go to the streets and protest when you got the COVID apps out, rumors of coups. There's just a lot happening right now. And mark my words, it will be here on the shores of the United States very shortly. There's no way the rest of the world can go up in flames and the United States stays intact. The destruction of Europe's economy with this gas shutoff is absolutely the beginning of one of the pillars or the legs of our economy being pulled out as well. Collapse. Hey, October surprise. Hope you're ready. And I really say that in all honesty. You really have just days or weeks. The beginning of it was when the rail strike occurred at the exact same time that there were supposed to be corn deliveries at the most ever for the contracts stood for delivery at the Chicago Board of Trade. Remember that rail strike came in, supposedly, rumors of it, so all loading was stopped. That's been pushed back 2 weeks, which brings us to right about now when they would start loading from the closures or disruption in rail traffic. It's all too coincidental, all these things happening. All coming into fall. Did you plant a fall garden yet? A lot of winter greens that you could put up. I've done a few videos on that. So what's going to happen to the forests in Europe as people go out to actually heat and cook old school just like this? Iron pots over flame, Speaking of flames, I had about 3 people send me this exact same tweet, and I thought, well, that's something special. It's in French, gotta be Paris. I thought I didn't know what it was really, and then I looked over on AP. World's largest wholesale fresh produce market, gone completely. At the same time, all the energy disappears. And back in the States, in Philadelphia, groups are starting to ransack supermarkets. I talked about this in May, that they were going to use these flash mobs to start targeting supermarkets for the excuse to put troops in every single entrance of a supermarket, in addition to the digital rationing cards that shall start to emerge December of 2022. Just a couple more months. Things are happening fast. And I like how it's phrased, y'all are about to understand why your great-grandmother saved all her bacon grease and washed her aluminum foil. Perhaps we're going to need to dust off the wagon here. There won't be motor fuels, but there will be horses. And Ransom Godwin and myself talk about these issues for 2 hours every Thursday night, 10 p.m. to midnight. freedomslips.com, Revolution Radio Studio A. Hope you can join us there while we live stream across multiple platforms. I do thank you for watching. Hope you got something out of the video, and I'll see you next time.